the call beyond the veil. There comes a moment in every soul's existence when the silence between thoughts begins to whisper, when the noise of the outer world, the endless chase, the craving for meaning, the grasping for identity, starts to crumble beneath the weight of an unseen truth. That truth is the beginning of remembrance, the remembrance of who you are, not as a name, not as a face, not as a role, but as an eternal essence clothed in human form. This is the journey of the higher self. It is not a journey of distance, but of depth. It is not a pilgrimage through lands, but through dimensions of consciousness. It begins when the outer world fails to satisfy the inner ache, when success feels hollow and love feels fleeting, and you begin to sense that something ancient within you has been asleep for a long time. This is the awakening call, the soundless voice of your soul reminding you that you did not come here merely to survive. You came here to remember that you are the divine spark breathing through creation itself. The fall into forgetfulness. Before the awakening, there is forgetfulness. Every soul that enters the realm of matter descends through veils of density, veils of identity, memory, and separation. In this descent, you forget your origin, your purpose, and your unity with all things. You begin to believe that you are only the body, only the mind, only the name that the world calls you by. This is what ancient scriptures call the fall. Not a punishment, but a necessary amnesia, for only through forgetting can remembrance become meaningful. Just as a seed must fall into the dark soil to sprout toward the sun, your spirit had to descend into matter to rediscover its light. The Bible mirrors this truth when it says, "We see through a glass darkly, but then face to face." The glass darkly is the human mind, fogged by illusion, blinded by the senses, confused by desire. But the soul behind it is pure, radiant, and eternal. The face that has never aged, the consciousness that has never died. You are not trying to become your higher self. You are already it. You are simply learning to remember. The stirring of the spirit. The first sign that your higher self is calling is the discontent with the life you once thought was enough. You begin to feel that the old ways of living, chasing, comparing, consuming, no longer fit the rhythm of your being. There is an ache that no pleasure soothes, a hunger that no food satisfies, a yearning that no achievement fills. This is not depression, it is spiritual pregnancy. The old self is dissolving to make space for something divine to be born. In this sacred discomfort, the spirit begins to move. Synchronicities appear, dreams become vivid, your intuition sharpens. You feel drawn to solitude, to silence, to prayer. The things you once tolerated, gossip, chaos, meaningless pursuits, now vibrate out of harmony with your soul's frequency. This is how the awakening begins, not with thunder, but with subtle inner shifts that realign you with your truth, the unveiling of truth. As the old world falls away, you begin to see the invisible fabric connecting all things. You notice divine intelligence orchestrating every encounter, every delay, every accident. You start realizing that there was never chaos, only divine choreography. You understand the meaning of be still and know that I am God. For the stillness is not passive. It is the sacred state where the higher self reveals its vision. Through stillness, you begin to witness thoughts instead of being trapped by them. You start to see fear not as an enemy, but as an invitation to return to love. You begin to observe how the ego, the false self, constantly tries to maintain control, to defend, to justify, to separate. And you start to see that this ego, while loud, is not real. It is merely the shadow of your light, the role of the ego. The ego is not evil. It is the necessary contrast that makes awakening possible. It is the veil you must see through, the storm you must calm. Without it, there would be no journey, no contrast, no growth. The higher self does not fight the ego, it understands it. It knows that the ego's fear is born from forgetfulness, from the illusion that you are alone, that you must fight for survival, that you are separate from God. But the truth is, you are never separate. Even in your lowest moments, the higher self is watching, guiding, whispering, waiting for you to turn inward and listen. The ancient mystics called this the second birth, The Bible calls it being born of the Spirit. It is when you awaken from the dream of form and begin to live as the eternal consciousness that was never born and will never die. The crossing of thresholds. On this journey, you will face thresholds, sacred tests designed not to punish you, but to refine you. Moments when you must choose between fear and faith, between control and surrender. When you must walk through the fire of uncertainty, trusting that the unseen hand of God is holding you. Every threshold crossed dissolves a layer of illusion. The more you release, the more your vibration rises. And as your frequency ascends, you begin to attract experiences aligned with truth, relationships that mirror your growth, opportunities that serve your soul's mission, and peace that surpasses all understanding. Each threshold is a rebirth, the shedding of another false identity, another mask, another story. This is how you evolve, not by adding more, but by letting go. You are not climbing upward, you are peeling away the layers that hide your light. The divine mirror. The outer world reflects the state of your inner being. When you live disconnected from your higher self, life feels chaotic and unfair. But as you awaken, you begin to see that life has always been a mirror, showing you the lessons, patterns, and reflections needed for your soul's evolution. If someone triggers you, it is because a wound within you is asking to be seen. If life feels stagnant, it is because the next version of you is waiting for your courage to rise. The higher self teaches through experience, not through words. When you stop resisting what is and begin to see everything as divine guidance, your suffering dissolves into understanding. You realize that God was never testing you. God was teaching you, and every experience, no matter how painful, was designed to awaken the dormant wisdom within you.